Hi there, I'm Mark Sebastian, founder of Option Pit, and this is the Volatility Report. I want to remind everybody this is for education purposes only. Shouldn't be considered investment advice. Options have risk. And hey, the new blog is already up. Go us there. All right. So the new blog is up, and then we have new pieces starting to come together for our. If you look at mentoring services, we've got a brand new page there. If you look at the store, we've got a brand new page there describing everything we've got and better ways to buy it. So, and we've got a much longer list, all sorts of great stuff. So, make sure you check stuff out. It's fully up to date, and we're glad to see everybody. All right, now, let's talk the market. Well, I'll tell you. You've got the SPOOs down about 14. You got the VIX up. You got the VIX futures up. You got some strength in March. That's kind of the piece I'm noticing is that there is some strength in March, although VXX is not quite tracking its index as well as you might expect. But I'll tell you, I've been watching kind of the price behavior of how VIX and the S&P 500 are moving. And if we get a rally here, we are lined up for one of the all-time pastings I've seen of VIX. They're putting everything they can into volatility right now, and if SPOOs don't sell off, that's short for the S&P. If the S&P doesn't sell off and we end up getting a bid here, you could see VIX get real ugly real fast, and it could drop quickly. We have Feb expiration tomorrow. So Feb and the Feb VIX futures are going to be tracking each other extremely well. That is something to be aware of. They're going to be basically on top of each other. So today is like the one day a year where VIX movement and the VIX future are pretty much trackable. So what you will notice, though, is that the Feb future is a lot more dynamic than the actual index. Feb future updates dynamically. The index updates every 15 seconds. So following the Feb future is actually going to give you a better idea of where the volatility gods may be swaying. All right. So some things I'm going to be looking at today. I'm going to be watching that VIX. What's it going to do? I'm going to be watching Apple, which had a great day yesterday. What's next? And Facebook, which continues to be kind of soft. What's in the cards for that? NVIDIA. There's some announcements that they may have like a competing chip, some things there. So there are definitely some things that are continuing to move around. It feels like if we get green today, or even just a little red, that maybe we're kind of in that holding pattern, or maybe we rally. I will say that the guys in the S&P pit are saying that it's been pretty slow. That's usually a sign that volatility is wrapping up, that we're hitting some exhaustion, and that things might turn into the slow grind lower or the slow grind higher. As it remains now, I don't know. Just watching the price action feels like we might get a bid. But who knows? Trying to predict this market is not the easiest thing. I'm just telling you, I'm, 60-40, we end up higher from here than lower, but I'm not extremely confident in either one. I would point out that energy looks soft today. The financials look soft. I mean, kind of across the board, the index, the ETF, the little ETFs are soft. That's usually not a great thing. The rut has really been kind of the laggard. So that's the one I've been watching that seems to be the leader again. Sometimes it's the S&P, sometimes the NASDAQ. It's never the Dow. Today, the Russell has been kind of leading the way. And then finally, let's not forget to keep an eye on bonds. Bonds have found footing. They've stopped completely tanking. IEF, kind of the mid-tier bonds, same thing, although it's still soft. If those don't continue to tank, then I think that we'll have, could be interesting. But you know, like I said, it's really hard to pick to try and guess. I'm just kind of, as I look, what feels like most likely to happen. And that's also partially just because of the momentum of the last 2 days. We have rallied 70 points after giving, including a pretty big turnaround that typically points towards some interesting price action. All right, folks, if you have questions, you can email me, mark@optionpit.com, or you can call me 888-TRADE-01. Have a great morning.